Hey guys, it's Tarkin, and we are here once again, playing Minecraft. That's the name of the game, right? Other people might go through a whole lifetime of playing Minecraft and barely plant wheat at all. You know, not everybody's the same. And that's okay. At least I sure hope it's okay. I've sort of invested a little bit of time in this wheat field now, so I certainly hope it's alright. to do so. It's a little too late to turn around and change my ways now. This is kind of who I am. I mean, it's never too late to change who you are, or who you appear to be. But I don't intend to either. I like my wheat. I like the faraway mountain, the amber waves of grain and all that. That's what it's all about. It's what some of it is about. We just need to get a bit of seeds. I'm probably just gonna do like one big pass and then go to the other side of the mountain and get a little bit more wheat put into the ground. You know, because that is, after all, unironically what it's all about. Maybe I should fix the river right there by the canal after all this time, now that I actually understand water. So I built that canal early, super early. It would have been like, like the 10th Minecraft video kind of thing. Building a canal was something that I wanted to do very early because I was always getting lost, but I figured if I had the river to guide me, then it would be different. I was actually thinking of speed running the game again tonight, because I have to wait to play hardcore for the party tomorrow, for the day 600 party. I mean, I don't have to. I can do whatever I want. No, the only person that said I should delay it is me. But for the day 500 party, it just sort of arrived, and it came at a weird time of night, and I thought it'd be cooler if I announced it in advance, then if nobody came, then it would be, nobody wanted to. And we'll do the day 700 party whenever. After all, after the first couple hundred days of hardcore, it's not impressive to not die anymore. Anybody can live forever, after all. Or so it's been explained to me. In the heat of the moment, it's okay to throw a stack of wheat on the ground. The wheat is secondary, after all. It's the seeds that matter. They are the core of the project. You just put hay bales wherever. It literally doesn't matter. No one cares about them. Man, the golems are just invading the other part of the land too. Oh, look at all of what they're ruining. Alas. You know, you can't really trust them. They tromp around on everything with their big golem feet. Which is not supposed to be what the Kingdom of Wheat is all about, you know. What does characterize it? Restraint, aesthetic sensibilities, a general reasonable nature. I think that's what's at the heart of the Project of Wheat. And if none of that sounds accurate, well, you know, we're working on the propaganda for the Kingdom of Wheat. I'm not an expert. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that have planted more wheat than me. I hope to one day meet them. I mean, not really. I'm not sure they exist. They probably do. But night falls again, and that means, of course, it's time to sleep it through, because we need the daylight to make the wheat grow. You could use artificial light, but I couldn't. That would take time. Time we could be spending planting wheat. And that's not what we do here. What we do here is wheat. And rambling. Some rambling, too. I often feel like I have nothing to say, and you might say to yourself, the guy in front of me now that's rambling? Yeah, but you know, that's why I have wheat. You know, it's like a totem. It can focus my my previous lack of insight, and you know, sort of free up all of my important things that I can say about everything. Life, liberty, the pursuit of cereal crops, you know, that sort of stuff. For, after all, that is literally what it's all about. It's just wheat. Wheat today, wheat forever, back to the wheat. I dislike that this tree is here. We're going to remove it. Slowly. Clumsily. But, you know, not all of it. Only the parts that are in front of my face. The offending portions. Hey, Natasha. How are you? And I'm glad I decided to do this instead of trying to beat the game again on easy. That would have been a terrible idea. I'm just imagining it now. Getting set on fire. Having to use a shield. Perish the thought. You say you saw my Hollow Knight try. I hope you don't quit. I don't quit for it's fucking. Yeah, I don't. I'm not like super discouraged. I was just getting annoyed, and I was like a little tired. I don't know. I've been taking naps in the middle of the day a lot. It's just so hot outside. And even if I don't go outside, it's like I still know. I mean, I still like go out a little bit to take the dog out or whatever. But no, I definitely intend to play it some more. I just, you know, I get frustrated if I fail at the same dumb thing repeatedly. But, you know, hey, at least we beat the first boss and all. And, I never feel like the game's doing something wrong whenever I die. You know, it's always just me. But I'll definitely try it another time or two. In the event that I give it up, I won't be giving it up, you know, just today. Another tree? This is terrible. Is there a way around this? No, we can't make an axe. This is the worst day of my life. Now I have to break this thing, or it'll be in my way. This ridiculous thing, the crafting table from which all blessings flow. You know, I could just carry an axe around, but I'm not going to, so I don't know why I said I could do that when I literally can't do that. I could get distracted instead of planting wheat. I mean, theoretically, it's clearing land for wheat. Ah, my skin feels hot. This is what it's like, you know, you have a plan, and then things get in the way of it, and then before you know it, you can't breathe. I mean, not you. I'm talking about myself here again. Other people can deal with very mild inconveniences much more gracefully than I have ever been able to. I hate this tree in particular. Why? Because it's the one in front of me right now. I could go around it. I'm not going to. I'm gonna complain about it while I hit it with the wrong tool. Just me things. Alright, you swim so slow. I always forget. They defeated me. I'll make a wooden axe. You know, it's barely faster than not using an axe at all. It's okay. And we will cut down the part of the trees that make them realistically tree-like, and instead have them float. And then I will throw the axe away afterward. This is a great plan. Because, I mean, it's going to take, like, ages to get all the way, you know, to where I'll need more. And by that point, I'll have forgotten all about this event, and I'll just be like, man, why wouldn't me in the past have just, you know, lived life differently? But no one will know why. It'll be impossible to say. You know, if I could just do that all the time, maybe I would be happier. Just throw away all the stuff that I pick up in games. Because I spend so much effort thinking about what's going on. It may not look like it's a lot of effort, but it feels like it to me. You know, could just not pick it up. Could play Terraria again. I just need to rush the item that locks the inventory. And then play the game without picking anything up. Hey, Evan. Evan, you say you're gonna keep on putting chat into the into the day 600 video. Well, you know, feel free. You won't be inhibiting anybody's experience, and you know, if that's what makes you feel better. Nice to see you here. Yeah, you know, the last video just sort of crept up on us and we didn't really have, you know, a big advance notice. And, you know, for an extravaganza, for a big old party, you know, you might want to invite people more than 3 minutes in advance. And it was in, like, the middle of the night, too, or, you know, at the very least, you know, like 11:30. But anyway. This one we'll do in the middle of the day, and it will have characteristically low production values, rambling speeches, dizzying camera work, all the things that you can expect. But no, I figured it out. If I just play like one new game a week, every week, then after like 16 years, I'll be done with my Steam game library. So anyway, I think I'm gonna buy some new games tomorrow. No, I do wanna keep on playing games I haven't played before, or, you know, continuing to play games that I haven't played to death. But I also want to plant more wheat, and you know which one of the desires is ultimately going to win out. The call of the grains is strong. I'm just thinking about me in the past. How could I have thought that that other part of the mountain was far enough? Like, how could I have gotten so far and yet, like, given up before the very obvious conclusion of the ocean? Maybe I was burned out and bored. That must have been it. That's right, yeah. Because I thought I was, like, done. I can't rewrite history. I have to remember. I thought I had planted enough wheat. I was so young then. It feels like just months ago. Said read by the right click to a key might be faster. Yeah, because especially like when you run forward, you know, like it'll often fail. But, you know, if you back up, it doesn't. But yes, it's not totally about speed. But if there was, you know, like a button to hold down, that would be better. Hey, Ashes, how are you? We're just rocking out some wheat. You know, we didn't have enough. Everybody knows that about me. You know, has a mustache, occasionally drinks water, doesn't have enough wheat. 3 facts. You could go with those. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that. I do drink water. Not constantly, but from time to time. That's another thing about me, in addition to the wheat, that you could use to, like, win a trivia contest about me. Don't ask me why you might be engaged in one. I don't want to, you know, think about what your motives could possibly be in such a scenario, but, you know, those would be safe bets. What are some other fun facts about me? I habitually overfill burritos. Like, you know, you'll be at your house, you know, and you have like all the burrito fixings on your family table, and you're filling them up. And I always put too much food in that burrito. You know, it'll never fit. My whole life I've been doing this. This is about to be like a really good planting section though, because there's only, I mean, probably like 700 or 800 or 1,000 more blocks of vertical space to go on the other side, right? Because it's maybe not even that many. Right, because we got all of that done just the other day, so we just have, you know, we'll have to knock down that water. Yeah, no, not 1,000, probably not. I mean, maybe like total on the side rim there, but a lot of it is going to be straight lines that won't be that intensive. So, pretty cool stuff. Definitely, you know, this whole plane, that's going to be quick enough work. You know, that's not going to take too long, even with this little irregularity in the middle, which we might just knock down, you know, for the sake of it all. You say you just recently went to a burrito bar. Saw for the first time in your life how to professionally fold a burrito and never be the same. Yeah, you know, it can be very, very upsetting to realize how little you know compared to the true experts. Once upon a time, my friends and I won this Halo tournament, and we got... like one of the things we got, No, we got second place in this Halo tournament. That's right. And we got like gift certificates to this burrito place in town. Which not the town I live in now. The town that the college was in. And it was like an awesome burrito place, and we continued to go there for many years. Or rather, a couple of years. I didn't live there for many years. Yeah, definitely, like, skilled folding can be inspiring. There's a lot of little techniques that people aren't aware of that, you know, it just seems like sorcery when you're doing it. Like, whenever I was, like, you know, first starting baking and cooking food and stuff at home, which is just like a couple years ago, and I was doing pizza dough. See, I used to work at a pizza joint where we, like, threw pizza dough ages ago, like 15 years ago, right? And, 13, it doesn't matter. But I don't, like, always talk about it because it's boring and it was a job, you know, what are you going to do? And, but I'm, like, sitting there in my kitchen and people are playing Magic the Gathering and I'm just, like, twirling the pizza dough around and, like, you know, it's not, like, I work at a steakhouse, you know. And they're like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, you know, you just, you twirl it around and you use, you know, gravity to make sure that you don't drop it. And, you know, then it's, then suddenly it's pizza. But no, my inability to properly fill a burrito has been not a source of, like, consternation or frustration, but definitely a thing I've noticed. There's a great Bo Burnham live bit where he talks about this phenomenon, which I had noticed my own propensity for overfilling burritos before I became familiar with his comedic work. So I was pretty delighted whenever I finally heard this song about how, you know, he's at a burrito place. And this part of the song is, you know, he's at a burrito place. He's using it as the metaphor for, you know, never really knowing what he wants. And he says to the guy, he's like, you're a burrito expert. You should have warned me halfway through. Hey, man, I think you're about to reach maximum burrito capacity here. You know, do you think I want a messy burrito? Nobody wants a messy burrito. That kind of thing. It's a fun song. And then it gets, you know, really emotionally involved. I like it a lot. He also uses, like, the inability to fit his hand inside of a Pringle can as a metaphor, which I enjoy a whole lot. These are, like, two central metaphors of my life, and I like the way that he explores them in the song. Which is, I think, called Can't Handle This or Kanye Rant. It's not, like, modern Kanye Rant. This is, like, years ago Kanye Rant. So, you know, better to think about than the modern ones. Anyway, it's like 7 minutes long. It was like the closer of some live show that he did, the Before Inside. I haven't been following Bo Burnham for a super long time, but, you know, he blew up a couple of years ago with Inside, but there's this singer I love. She's called Phoebe Bridgers, and she's just wonderful. She writes these amazing lyric masterpieces. She's got a great voice and she's a good guitar player. She's really awesome. But she also, like, has some covers of songs every now and then, and she did one. The reason I know Phoebe Bridgers is because she did a cover of a song called You Missed My Heart by Sun Kill Moon, which is an artist that I love a lot. And You Miss My Heart, it's a crazy song. It's awesome. It's like a murder song. It's super dark and just gorgeous. But she covered that, so I became familiar with her a little bit. And then she covered one of his songs from Inside called That Funny Feeling. And I was listening to it, and I was just like, man, Phoebe really knocked it out of the park on this one. And then, because, you know, she and I are on first name terms, so I just call her Phoebe. Ridiculousness. Anyway, Phoebe Bridgers knocked it out of the park on this one, and then I was like, wait, she didn't even write this? And then I looked up his version, and then agreed with everybody else that the comedy special was good. Which, by way of a long roundabout, led me to his metaphors of being unable to fit his hands inside of a Pringle can and of habitually overfilling burritos. It was uncanny, though. It's like one of the central jokes of my life. Whenever people talk about, like, astrology or horoscopes or whatever, that's one of the things I bring up, is that the one for me never says those things about me, which are, like, very true. You know, the other one that I like to say is, like, likes to share anecdotes about Lord Byron. Lord Byron is a poet. If you weren't familiar, you should be. He's the guy who wrote, So We'll Go No More Roving, you know, the poem of the ziggurat. And a bunch of other things, too. Lord Byron's big famous. But anyway. He had a pet bear at university, which is the anecdote that I share about him. There are some other ones that I know, but that is by far the most interesting. Sometimes people will try to bore me by saying they don't like his poetry or that he was a bad person, and I was like, we're talking about his bear cub. I fear you weren't listening. As if they're gonna convince me that a guy with a pet bear isn't cool no matter what they say. Look, like, you gotta draw the line somewhere at being cool, and mine is having a pet bear. Evan Daily, is this a celebration for 600 days? 600 Minecraft days. I've only been playing Minecraft for like a year and a week of real life days. You know, of real human days. It's just been, you know, 370 something. Because the first Minecraft stream would have been June... Stream. Video. We didn't stream back then. Would have been June 19th of last year. But yeah, 600 in-game days. And some amount of in-game nights. Most of them slept through. I mean, it's gonna be boring. I won't have anything to say about it beyond what I always say, but it's still a celebration, you know? And I kinda don't... I don't really roll with celebrations for things in real life very much at all. So, you know, it might be fun to do it for Minecraft, though. I hate any situation in which I'm going to be expected to behave or feel differently than I normally do. So, like, you know, basically all holidays. But for a Minecraft thing, it'll just be the normal thing, you know. I already fly around and tell the story of the world all of the time. I already, you know, look at what my hands have wrought all of the time. You got a flood and a tornado warning like 4 p.m. earlier today? Oh, sounds like sounds like normal weather this time of year, man. No, that must be scary. I don't mean to dismiss it. You know, I'm just... Being from Arkansas, you know, you just sort of are like, oh yeah, floods and tornadoes, it's summertime, and the living's easy. Where I live now, I don't have to worry about floods anymore, but whenever I was a kid, where we lived was right next to the bayou, and it definitely was a lot more annoying, and sometimes, you know, the water would just go up over the road. Whenever I was younger, they didn't, the state hadn't built, like, more advanced levees, wherever they needed to build them, right? So, the old levees would regularly break, and, the floodwaters would rise. Where more seeds? I think we've got some here. Oh my goodness, am I really gonna have to go get more seeds already? Where is storage for them? There isn't. There were chests that used to be seed storage. We've used so many, and yeah, like we've exhausted, I think, all of them. We might have some in these boxes, but yeah, there we go. We'll check to the other side of the field real quick. I don't think there should be any in this chest at all. Yeah. Oh, that's where I keep my stuff. This is where my pants are, guys. We found them. Because those boxes are all empty, right? And we had these chests here that are going to pop into view right now. But, I think they're all empty, too. Empty of, seeds, yeah. There's nothing here but worthless wheat. And then there would be some over yonder. Maybe, but I doubt it. Of course, we haven't been back here in recent enough times to grow the wheat, but we still need to make that river there, but a river's quick work now. Like, I have, you know, I flatter myself now that I have, like, a really good concept of how to build a quick little ad hoc waterway after my recent experience increases. Well, you know, the answer is we don't have any seed storage at all anywhere anymore, which makes sense. Exactly, Evan. Not enough wheat. You've diagnosed the problem. Now, you wouldn't think, if you're a casual observer, that a person with this wheat field could not have enough wheat, but you very correctly have noted that I don't have enough. We're just going to finish planting these seeds, and then we'll run on over here and harvest some more. The turtles are having a good old time, just hanging out on the beach. But yeah, but that's the thing. So, like, with this segment of planting right here, you know, all the stuff on the countryside is a chunk, but like this right here, that's a lot of seeds. You know, that's like that's an inventory full of seeds that you see there, and well, they don't grow on trees. They grow on stalks of wheat, and you got to plant them all individually. It's very important. Otherwise, they won't grow. I don't think there's a way to automatically plant wheat. I mean, like, I know you can make a computer program do stuff inside of Minecraft for you. That's not what I mean, and I don't care about that. I mean, I should say, I think it's very cool. It is not the way I want to play. So I know people can do just, like, basically computer-assisted design. You know, draw the picture in a program and then let the computer control your guy. But, like, look. The honesty of the field is what it's all about. If I'm gonna have a machine plant the field, I might as well, you know, get a tractor. But, you know, but a human being is not a tractor. They're a collection of pixels in Minecraft. That's what a human being is. And, you know, that's what I need to hold on to. That very specific and factually correct definition. You know, that's what separates us from the iron golems, is the ability to plant wheat instead of just destroy it. I'm saying that like there's any iron golems here to hear me talking my very oblique trash. They would just look blankly at me and try to hand me one of those red flowers that you get sometimes when you kill them when they die. I used to hit them a bunch back before I played hardcore. I would just, like, you know, like if I needed iron, right, we would just hit them with an axe a bunch because it's on peaceful, so they didn't fight back. Definitely have almost died to an Iron Golem in hardcore. I don't think it's ever happened, though. If it did, it would have been early enough in a world that I just laughed it off and went to another one. So you're gonna play some Pokemon and trying to finish up the last things you need to do for your shiny charm? Cool. I know that shinies exist. I'm such an old person. And like, you know, it was good enough for me at the start. I didn't need any of the fixes. I'm so strongly nostalgia motivated. Even whenever I was young, I was still an old person. I was like, red and blue were good enough for me. No, I mean, like, I was hyped for yellow, too. It's probably just that, like, I was, like, going to punk rock shows and stuff. And by the time the next generations of Pokemon came out. If I had been, like, 6 when the first one came out instead of, you know, like 10 or 11, then I probably would have, you know, liked Gen 2 as well. Because it's not that I didn't like any of the other Pokemons, I just simply never gave them a real try. Like, I played one of them on an emulator, I don't remember anything about the game. I didn't beat it, I didn't get to level 30. But that's like, that's a very me thing. If there's a game, like, in a series that I already love it, like, if it doesn't grip me immediately, sometimes I'll just, like, put it down in annoyance and disgust and then never ever return to it. I don't do that for, like, Final Fantasies, usually, but I'll do it for anything else. I even played through Final Fantasy 13. Sigh. It was a fine game, Maybe it's better than I remember it being. I bought Final Fantasy 13 3 times. And I've played it through more than once. Every time I did, I wanted to love it instead of just merely happen to be playing it. But what are you gonna do? They can't all be Final Fantasy 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, or 12 after all. Or Tactics. No, that's not fair. 3 was good too. I mean, 3 US is 6, which is my favorite, but you know. 3, the actual 3, the first one with job classes. I need to get around to playing Final Fantasy for this channel. If I can get away with it. I don't know if they let you. I'd have to look into it. Because, like, if I'm struck by a bolt of lightning tomorrow, like, me playing my favorite game wouldn't be there. You know, no one would have anything to go on. You know, they wouldn't have my insightful commentary. You said, what is that timing? You just had a shock right when I said struck by lightning. Well, you know, that's how it goes. Was it very effective? Oh, that's too bad. Once years ago, this would have been like 9 years ago, I was sitting at this place waiting for the person I was seeing to get off of work and talking to folks, and this this person there, significantly younger than me, you know, like they were, I would have been, you know, like 29 at this point, but they would have been like 18. We were talking about Pokemon and stuff, and I was talking about Red and Blue, and they just, like, said that I was wrong about it, you know, like, 'cause I was talking about which Pokemon were in Red and which ones were in Blue, and how I had Red and my best friend had Blue, and that kind of thing, and, like, and how good, like, Sandslash and Persian were, and how I wished that I had them in my game, you know, and that kind of thing. And this person just looks at me and they're like, well, Sandslash was in Red, and I was like, no. I mean, like, you could trade for it. They're like, no, it was in it. I'm like, no. Like, first of all, you're not going to sit here and tell me that this game that I owned before you were alive, that was a huge part of my life, has a Sandslash in it. It's not true. But anyway, because I don't use a smartphone, I was just like, look, I need you or somebody else to look this up. I'm not going to, like, taunt you about it. I just want you to look it up. I'm going to tell you right now what Pokemon are in which one, and that you're wrong, and then you can look it up, and then we don't have to talk about this anymore. And, you know, I have told this story many, many times since then, but I don't like keep in touch with the person that this was involved in, but I didn't bring it up to them every time I saw them. It was enough for me to know I was right the whole time. You guys know what that's like, you know, when someone's like, you're not correct about this, but it's something that you're like, you genuinely have some expertise in my case, Pokemon Red. Cause like, I don't know every single thing about Gen 1 Pokemon anymore, and I may not have known every single thing at one point, but I knew a whole lot about it. And there was certainly a time in my life where I was every bit as big of a fan of the Pokemon game series as anybody else, and that was when it came out, you know? And, anyway, it was a very, like, do you know who I am kind of moment. I'm like, I wish I still knew the whole Poke Rap so that I could just, like, bust it out, but I've forgotten, you know, forgotten the face of my father, to use the Stephen King phrase. I can no longer do the entire Pokemon rap. I bet I could pick it back up with a little bit of practice. But it's like, I always just imagine myself at a family gathering, like sitting down at the little kids' table, being like, you don't know anything about Pokemon, and then just like eating my sandwich or whatever. My sandwich, why would I be having a sandwich at a family gathering? Eating my mashed potatoes and bread or whatever. Pokemon Violet. I guess that's one of the modern ones. I literally don't even know, like, any of the names. Like, I know some of the names of Pokemon that have come out, like, since Gen 1. But, because they were, like, in Smash Brothers or whatever. Or I hear people say them out loud. Like, I don't even know the names of, like, what the games are and, like, where they line up. Like, there was, you know, Gold and Silver. Are those the second and third ones? There was Emerald and Ruby and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I only know Gen 1 stuff. You say there's an Alolan, Sandshrew, and Slash. I assume those are versions from some other place. I don't know where Alola is. I only know that Gen 1 place is called Kanto. Which, it was not... It might have been called that originally. Nobody called it that, though. No, literally nobody called it that. But I know that that's what the region is called. Alola is 7th gen. I see. Those it is. Yeah, I thought of picking up one of the new ones for my Switch whenever the latest one came out, but then I talked to people and they all told me that they didn't recommend it, so... Like, when the guy that owns the store that sells games says, nah, dude, don't get that, you know, you don't want to get it, you know? Why no one called it Kanto? Well, because there were no other regions. So it wouldn't have made sense, you know. We just said, you know, it's in the Pokemon world, or it's Pokemon, but, like, no one, I guess, thought about where it was called at all. You don't need to know what the name of the country you're playing is until they give you another country. We need to mend up. I don't remember where my sword is. There's like 1,300 cows in the field, so it would be good to sword some down. Did we leave it in one of the boxes in the field? I mean, it's possible. Looks like the sword's not here. Oh well, we will just mend it up with the wheat we didn't bring. You know, we'll just bring some beef over to the island and sell it, and maybe that'll get us something here. Hello, Voips. Because on this island, over here, this was like, after all the entities disappeared on the Bedrock Java Switch, this is where, you know, we built a bunch of job blocks, so, like, we've got all of our wealth is tied up here. And, like, we had plenty of butchers, but I guess we didn't. Alright, there we go. We had at least a couple of them. Because really, like, I had to have enough to sell the chicken to the people. Man, that was a lot less experience than I thought it was going to be. Alright. Do I have any more stuff in this box? Oh yeah, I have a ton of emeralds. You can see that this is the box where we keep the emeralds. You said you wouldn't recommend 7 and 8 to someone like me. Gen 5 is your favorite. Same as, like, basically playing like Red. It's only new Pokemon. Yeah. Yeah, that would, you know, because it's not like I'm, like, I mean, I wasn't interested in the other ones because I was like, I don't care because they're new. But it's, yeah, I don't know. When I played the one on the Game Boy emulator, I wasn't, like, upset with how it was. It just didn't, like, grip me or anything. And here we have a bunch of random diamond stuff, as is tradition. And random beef, like, why am I here? Am I trying to find seeds? They wouldn't be here. I found some seeds. Alright, well, I still don't know where my sword is. Whatever. Was it over here with the rest of my stuff? I don't think so. It was not. Well, we're just gonna bring some hay over and mend up. So many cows. New recipe unlocked. Must have been the first leather we picked up since they let you turn leather into saddles. Let me out! Hooray! I mean, yeah, the Pokemon lore is deeply strange at best, and outright troubling most of the time. There's many examples of it, but I mean, let's not forget my boy Cubone. Yeah, Cincinnati Superstars, exactly. Like, if anything, the fact that they don't feel despair more often is the interesting part. The least messed up? Well, you originally think that until you realize that they are all given a skull. No, I remember from the anime, the Indigo League, which I used to watch on television back in the day. I don't know how long they continue on. They might still make Pokemon anime for all I know, but you know, I just watched Indigo League back in the day. But they would be giving like elements of tragedy and pathos to all sorts of Pokemon. You know, like, if Ash and the crew met some group of Pokemon, you could be sure that they would, you know, make you pretty sad by the end of it. You'd be like, no, why won't they be nice to the other Squirtle, type of thing. No, I remember, like, reading in the news a couple of years ago when Ash, like, finally became the champion in the anime or whatever. I was talking about it at work, yeah. Ash started his adventure, and he and I were the same age. And he's, you know, now I am an old man. Now I am an ancient and wizened creature. And he's still wearing his little baseball cap and making his choices. I don't envy him in that. You know, he's got to walk so much, and I get to sit in my chair and play Minecraft. Which I'm sure he would do now that he's the very best, like no one ever was. Now that he has passed his test. It's so funny that we, like, basically ran out of seeds, but, you know, that's how it goes, you know. When you've only mined 75,000 wheat seeds and you've used 280,000 of them. What? What? Like, you better hope I don't have a sword in here. Okay. I don't want him here. I don't want him in my field. This displeases me. Did he already ruin... An enemy has done this. He better get out of here. He's making me cut in uneven lines. I don't like it. Alright, now that that's taken care of, we can return to what I wanted to do. If I find out who invited them into this field, I'm gonna hit them with the axe too. It's different when I do it. Guy's never planted wheat a day in his life, just wanders around trading. Can't trust itinerant merchants. No, I mean, that's not fair. You can't trust that one. He's walking in my field. Even if I built a path, I bet he would walk. He wouldn't walk on it. I bet he'd just do whatever. Like, how's the rain going? Okay, here we go. Because the savannah doesn't start till over there. This area is, you know, normal. You can tell where the biome swaps. Not just because of the acacia trees and the color, but because it never, ever, ever rains in the savannah. No matter what. But it can thunder, though. Do we need to finish? Yes. Yes, we do. You don't want to leave little gaps like that. I mean, they're fine, because, you know, if you're spectator moding, you can always, you know, notice them before too long, but it's not ideal. I don't really know exactly how the vines work. We should figure it out. I don't know if they grow, like, from the mossy cobblestone. Maybe, because I don't remember them always being there. I certainly don't remember placing them there. Although I may well have done it. I'm not going to claim to remember everything I've ever done. In fact, if pressed, I'll tell you I don't remember anything I've ever done because I don't want to incriminate myself. And it's possible that there used to be people that lived in this tower, and nobody knows what happened to them. But look at all this wheat, am I right, guys? Look at all this wheat. I bet whoever built this tower, they'd be very pleased to know that instead of them, we now have wheat. And if they wouldn't be, I mean, what are they going to do? Shoot a crossbow at me or something? Theoretically. Nobody knows who could have ever lived here. It's one of those big mysteries. They don't even, like, have any flags on the walls that would let us know. Nothing like that. They're all gone. In Java, you can't get vines even with shears. The only way is to spread it until there. Oh, okay. Interesting. I kind of wonder where the end is here. Like, what if it's like underneath my drained ocean monument or something? That'd be funny. Or like right underneath my house. I don't know if that can happen, but it would be funny. I've never looked for it. I may never. I mean, what's the point? Go fight the Ender Dragon on peaceful? Ridiculous. I mean, I don't even think you can summon the old girl, right? Because you gotta have blaze rods. But I guess you could go to the... You'd go to the fortress and turn on monsters to get the blazes to spawn. Natasha, you were telling me about that guy that, you know, was planting wheat and not having a good time. I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, man, couldn't be me. Like, is he even doing it right? You gotta plant it or it doesn't feel good. You gotta plant the wheat. / locate structure stronghold. Yeah, it gives you like a drop down and then you can just scroll towards it, but yeah. It's Minecraft : and then the name of the structure with underscores between all of them. He started like a really long time ago and the islands of meat are so small. Poor guy. Minecraft stronghold. Structure space Minecraft : stronghold is the command. It is at 816 negative. $225.6. I'm like, where's our... I'm like, wait, why can't I... Where? How do you even pull up the console? Is it... There, okay. Negative 225.6. So it's just like Zounds over this way. I guess we could teleport there by clicking the thing. Yes, click to teleport. Well, I guess it's here. I don't think we've ever been here before on this world. Anyway. Cool. Or we might have been, because... Yeah, no. We've definitely been here because this is like a place that we would have found the red sand and the terracotta for the first time, and we would have, like, knocked over the side of this. Yeah. Anyway, well, now we know. There's 128 strongholds in each world? Oh, I thought there was only one. It shows what I know. Yeah, I thought that, you know... I thought that the Eyes of Ender brought you to the one place with an end portal that you could go. I had no idea that there was more than one. I don't know why I thought that. Guess I never asked. It just seemed like, you know, the eyes will point you in the direction forever. But I guess if there's 128 in the world is a very, 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 very big place. If you, with a couple more varies on. I'm not going to pretend to know how large a Minecraft world is. I know I've never seen the wall. So I believe the wall is called the Farlands. Somebody has mentioned it, and it's in like the splash text, but I've never been there. I imagine it is very, very far away. Like, at least 10 times as far away as where Shrek lives. Man, it's gonna be a bummer when I finally plant enough wheat and I actually have to build a building. I'm so bad at building buildings. And so average at planting wheat. You know, it's not that I'm better at planting wheat than other people are, it's just that I care more about it than they do. And that's, I mean, it's probably the only explanation that will explain all of this. I tire, and it gets late. So you're gonna hop off for now. Yes, I am just about to do that too. Outro time. But anyway, yeah. We're not gonna fly over the whole field. Y'all know what it looks like. It looks like a big old field of wheat. We're gonna fly over some of it though and get to the middle. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you've enjoyed. You know, perhaps I'll see you tomorrow in about 12 hours. Or today in about 12 hours. For the day 600 extravaganza. The party, you know, it's just going to be a normal stream. But, you know, with a very important in-game Minecraft day on it. So perhaps I'll see you there. If not, perhaps at a different streamer video. You know, we'll be around. Appreciate you guys hanging out and talking. It's been fun as always. Definitely, I've enjoyed it. Hope you have too. And that's all for me for right now. Good night. Bye, Natasha. Bye, Evan. See you guys later on.